Hi everyone. We're going to hold off for a second so I can see some eyes and I can get me pulled up. I hope everybody had a very nice weekend. We had a nice day yesterday. We went to our daughter's. Whoops. Okay, where am I at? There we are. So say hi when you hop on. So hopefully comments are working today. My phone about 5 minutes ago just went crazy. So I was like, oh crap, are we having internet issues? Because the electric went out yesterday. So say hi. Yeah, we had an awful storm yesterday. It was awful. The thunder, the first strike of thunder, I came up off the couch, scared the life out of me. The electric went in and out, and it rained like someone turned on a faucet. But that thunder was awful. But thank God we didn't have lightning with it. So, this is Christmas in July. This is our first Christmas project. And I can't see. I need eyes. Okay, there we go. Okay. Hey, Jody. So what we're doing is a snowman, and I'm using a coffee can. Now you can use any size can for this. You can use soup can, a juice can, anything. And I have a hole on both sides. Thank you for sprinkling. Yeah, I gotta put my glasses on. I can't see. I thought I could see comments, but I cannot. It's awful when you can't see. So I punched a hole on both sides. Now this is a pretty heavy can. If you can get your hole punched out over top of this lip, you can punch a hole in there. I sort of got mine down over there, and then I had to finish it with a screwdriver. That's what screwdrivers are for, right? And then I got some pieces of styrofoam inside. And I have one coat of Waverly sandstone on here already. So, well, I see two people's on, but I only see one on. So one thing I want with, you know, the Christmas stuff, it's already out in Hobby Lobby. Some of the other stores are already starting to put Christmas decorations out. Believe it or not, over 100 degrees and they're putting Christmas out. Last year, when they started reducing all of the Christmas stuff, I was at Dollar General, and they had these flower pots with a tree stuck in it. So the regular price was $5, but I got them less than that. But what I looked at when I was looking at these was the base. Can you see each one of these stems is an individual wire. And they pull right out. So for under $5, I got all these stems, and I've already got a bunch of them over here pulled out. And then 5 of these for under $5. So when you're looking at this kind of thing, hi Angelica. So when you're looking at all the Christmas decorations out, I mean, this was even worth $5 because, I mean, even at the top, you can just pull these right out, and you have all these individual twigs. I mean, look how many is even left there. And we're not, I mean, this is a bunch of projects. So when you're looking, now what will I do with the flower pot? I don't know, because in the base of it is just a huge piece of styrofoam that's glued in there. I got snow everywhere now. And so I could take something and wiggle that out if I wanted to use the flower pot. But for under $5, I got a lot of projects here. And these things are what, over $2.50 a piece? So I got 5 of these. So when you're looking at Christmas decorations and you see these arrangements, look and see if you can rip it apart. I rip everything apart. Hi, Deborah. Welcome in. So, yeah, this little tree is going to probably take me all through Christmas because I don't really do a whole lot of crafting. But look, they just pull right out. And then you got snow everywhere. And it's 100 degrees out. So, now that I made myself a mess, of course, anybody walking this room would swear I hadn't cleaned it in 2 years, and we haven't even been here a whole year yet. So, yeah, it is a good idea. Even when I'm looking for individual picks, I go look at the swags that they have. Now, swags are about $20, you know, the garlands. And I rip those apart. And you got like $50 worth of picks for $20. So I always look for those things on sale and clearance too. So, yeah, just rip everything apart. And when your husband says, "What are you doing?" like mine does and gives you that look, just say, "Don't worry about it, honey. I got it." So I'm going to put another coat on here. And this is Sandstone by Waverly. And I have been up since 1 a.m. So I got a cup of coffee to try and help me get through this. So if I seem more giddier than normal, that's why. That's the way I get when I'm overly tired. And I could lay down right now for the rest of the night. But we know that's not going to happen. Yeah, I woke up at 1 and that was it. I was done. I hate that. But I didn't go to bed till 10. So we're going to put another coat on here. So we are just getting this all covered. Now this would be good on a juice can. I mean, you could do this little cans too. Now I'm putting parts of that tree in here. You could use the lid and cover the lid, make a hat, and use it to give cookies away to somebody. When I had my store, I used to make, of course, coffee cans were a whole lot bigger back then, but I used to do that and give it to my newspaper marketing guy and my normal mailman and my normal delivery guy, and just make up a whole bunch of cookies. They were all single guys, so they loved it. Okay, so we got a second coat on there. You haven't been to sleep yet? You know, I have never, even when something was bothering me, ever had a problem sleeping. But the last few months has been absolutely awful. So I'm hoping whatever this medical stuff I have going on is going to fix that. See how red I am? It's so hot in here, and I have the air on. This room doesn't have a ceiling fan, so that could be a reason. So we're going to dry this up so we can put his face on. One of the lights up just blew out. let's get the front of this dry. The rest of it can air dry. So there's a dent on this can, so I'm making sure that's the back. There we go. So I have a piece of muslin. We're going to set this over here and let it finish drying some more. And we're going to make a carrot nose out of. And I wish I knew where I got this muslin at, because it is a lot heavier than any other muslin that I've ever bought. But it's really heavy. So we're going to just cut a carrot out. So you don't have to be perfect. It could have squiggly lines on it, because you know carrots are not straight. But if you have to have it perfect, then draw it out. Hi, Kay. Who else did I miss? Those patients don't care. So let's glue this together. And we're not glued. We're not plugged in. I unplugged the wrong thing. Okay. So we'll just go ahead and paint it, and then we'll glue it. So I just have some Artist Loft. This is just orange. So I always wet my paintbrushes first. It seems to help the paint glide a little bit better. I had a whole other project planned for tonight, or today, and then I thought, oh, this is July. I gotta do Christmas projects. When I did shows, by now I had everything for my winter shows done. Because in the winter I did summer and spring, and in the summer I did fall and winter. So I was always several months ahead of where I needed to be. Of course, with 2 kids and their activities and the store and everything that was going on with that, I don't know how I was so organized. So I got too much paint. And I'm going to try and put it back in here. So if it don't work, it don't work. It is working. So the little mouse on my last project, I have that pattern available. Several of you have asked. I'm going to write the directions out for it. So if you want it, it's $5. And he's 6 inches tall. Okay, that worked. I amaze myself sometimes. Okay, so we have, let's see if this is ready to glue. No, let's dry this up. before that totally gets dry, I'm going to mix up a little bit of brown paint. This is nutmeg, apple barrel. Oh, we have branches down all over the neighborhood, but that was awful last night. And we only had like 20% chance of getting rain yesterday. It was like, well, they missed that one. So I'm mixing a little bit of this brown with a little bit of water. Yeah. You know, wind storm damage is awful. I know our first spring here in Georgia, we went through a tornado. Didn't know we were going through a tornado at first. But there was a funeral home right down the road from us. It was a really tiny one. It was old, but it was a really tiny one. They had taken the last person they had that morning out of there. I'm mixing this together. And when that tornado hit in the afternoon, Tony was out in the yard cutting grass. It was a beautiful day. It looked like someone just took all 4 walls, folded it in, and just sat the roof right down on top of it. I was like, I don't want to do that again. I don't want to go through that again. But thank God there was nobody in there, because, I mean, it's devastating enough. I'm just going to take this watered down brown paint, and I'm just going to do some real faint lines across this before this is totally dry, just to give the carrot some dimension. But that was awful. Thank God we had a generator, because we were 7 days without utilities. We just had a huge branch that time on our roof. But one street over was totally devastated. Every one of those houses one street over had to be rebuilt. Okay, so we're not done with that. But that's what I did. Just tiny little faint lines, just so that it gives it a little dimension. Oh, wow. Well, I hope it bypasses UK. I haven't listened to the news today, so I don't know about us. But Tony will be home in about 40 minutes, so I'm just going to glue these together. Now, if you wanted to give your snowman noses a little more dimension, you can take embroidery floss and go around them and pull them kind of tight. I'm just trying to get the smallest amount of glue here as possible. So it is hard to believe. He's like, oh no, now what's happening? So I'm just pinching these together to make sure that they bond well. So I'm leaving a little opening. I'm leaving the end open so that I can stuff this, because our snowman nose needs some dimension. So we can stuff it. And Tony doesn't ask what weird noises are anymore where I'm involved. He knows I'm doing something. So I did remember to put Vaseline on the end of my glue tool. That helps prevent all of the strings. I normally forget it. So let's set that aside and let it dry a little bit more. And we're going to pencil his face on. So I sort of did a drawing on some scrap paper. Since it's been a whole year since I've done snowman anything. So I always do my faces smaller than I want the finished one to be, because I can make them bigger with my brush. Or if you're using the paint markers. I like using paint markers, but I wasn't prepared for Christmas this early. So I'm just making really faint lines here. So we'll just freehand his mouth. Okay. Cover that orange up. So what I'm starting with is, let me get my marker. I thought I had it out, and I don't. This is a real fine tip we're going to outline everything with. So what I'm going to start with is doing his eyes in white, and then that will help the color be more intense. I got this, this is Michael's. I've never had a paint that's filled completely to the top. There is no airspace in this to shake it. So I'm just doing the whole eye to start with white. And I'm going outside the line that I drew. Where'd my comments go? Hi, Barb. Hi, Brenda. So it feels really odd at being 100 degrees and doing snowmen. Wow, this paint is really thick. So those of you just joining, I'm doing a snowman on a coffee can. This is Christmas in July. I know that's a retail thing. I wonder how that started. Hi, Jan. Welcome. Yeah. Ours wasn't, ours was like late afternoon when it hit. But when that first strike of thunder, scared the life out of me. I'm like, where is these storms all coming from? I'm gonna have to water that white paint down. It's extremely thick. I've never bought one like this before. So I'm gonna wet my brush a little bit. Try to thin that out. That's better. Okay, so we're going to set this aside. And we're going to use a really thin brush and some black paint and do his eyebrows. So we're going to set this aside. We're not done with that. Let's dry this so we can put our eyes in. So what I'm doing right now is the pupil, and he's going to be looking up. So when you do your eyes, your faces, that's when you can give whatever you're making a lot of personality. But that white just helps all your other colors pop. I think I got that from Stella. If you all know Stella, we all miss her. Oh, you go live at 4? Okay. So if you aren't busy at 4 o'clock, go watch Jody. Make sure those are the same size. We don't mind them being wonky, but we don't want them too wonky. Okay, let's dry those. Yeah, that's what I need, some sleep. So I'm wetting my brush, and I'm using, this is called Burnt Sienna, and I'm just giving, this is Artist Loft, I'm just giving my eyes just a little, just a little dot of color. I think I needed a smaller brush. I do. Let me grab another really tiny brush. me see if I can wipe that off. If not, we'll just paint right back over it, because that's too wide. So those of you who say you can't go live because you're afraid of messing up, you're not really messing up. It's learning. You can go live. Trust me, my very first live, I should have quit. That should have been it, and I should never have went before the camera again. Because it was a disaster. I had a folding table. I didn't put hook the legs right. The table collapsed in the middle of me sewing. And I was trying to save my machine. The camera went flying, lights went flying. So, you live and learn. Okay, let's see if I can do it now. Yeah, I was almost in tears. I thought, oh no, I broke my machine. Don't ever want to do that. So what I'm going to do is right around the pupils, just make a little line of this burnt sienna. And those of you who are artists, God bless you, I am not. Well, Donna, you can watch the replay. You pay attention to the road. So I'm going to wipe this off. This needs a lid. This is just constantly coming out. And I have this green. It's grass green. And I'm just going to do a little tiny line right where that burnt sienna was. And this is going to be a smaller line. And it's hardly any there at all. So that's what we got so far. That's all I'm using of that green. So let's get our black. Let's do white. Have any of you ever had a brand new paint that was so thick it's hard to use? That's what this is. Deciding where I want it. Do I like that? Doesn't help that my hand's shaky today either. I should have picked a different Christmas project. So we're going to give him tiny little lashes. Then we're going to dry his face and see where it needs touched up. And that white needs filled in some more. That's better. I don't know why my comments keep disappearing. So I am going to go around the entire eye with this black, just a little line, just to highlight the whole entire thing. Yeah, I shouldn't have chosen eyes. Of course, I wasn't shaky when I planned this. Okay, a little highlight there. What do we have so far? Oh, that would be wonderful. That would be wonderful. Yeah, functioning on 3 hours of sleep doesn't work out very well. Oh, I'm not done with that. I gotta let that set up a little bit better, and I'm going to do his cheeks. So we're going to give him just okay, now we're done with that. I think. All these brushes put in there. And I have some magenta. And I wet my brush, but I'm taking most of it back off. I think I'm going to use a baby wipe with this. Just put a little bit of it on and then smear it around with the baby wipe. Because we just want a highlight of cheek, not a whole lot. We want rosy, but not overkill. Like my granddaughter one time got into my makeup and whoo, she looked like she was, I'm not sure, but she thought she looked really good. I was like, Madison, woo, we gotta tone that down a little. Of course, she thought it was awful because I wanted to wash some of it off her face. Yeah, the minute my daughter came and picked her up, I got told on because I was being mean. But now her makeup is absolutely perfect. I keep telling her she needs to do videos on how to do makeup because she's a perfectionist. It looks really, really good. But man, that first application she did when she was, 3, 4, wow. Let's tone that one down a little bit more. Okay, let's put his nose together. Let's stuff it. We just want a little bit of fluff in there. Way too much. I don't think if you got all of us together, that would be very quiet. Just saying. Whoops. That's coming apart. Not sure how much slumber would happen either. I'll check the rest of this, make sure it's all good. Well, I just totally lost myself here. There we go. So I just want a little bit of dimension there. I bent over there, I just saw myself on the camera. Wow, the gray is like really bad. I started letting it grow out about 6 months ago. Like tired of coloring it. Okay, so we're just going to fold these ends in and then we're going to glue it on. That should be all set up. Ready for the next something. So I'm just going to glue this end closed. Oh, you're fine, Jody. Just be safe. Okay, so we're going to, I'm just gluing the end because I want this to stick out from his face. I'm just going to trim this down just a bit. We like the rough edges of our fabric, but not this much on a nose. Okay. So we're going to glue that down. So I'm only putting glue like the first inch, inch and a half. Don't stick your finger in it either. I like my snowmen to have big noses. We're just glue just a tiny bit more. There we go. It's white. Yeah. I use stuff in my hair that kind of darkens it. When I don't have it in, it's like silver. My hair used to be coal black. I went through menopause and the texture of my hair changed because I didn't have any body. It was straight. I couldn't put curl in it. It wouldn't stay. The texture changed and the color kept getting lighter and lighter and lighter. Hi Sheila, how are you? This is Christmas in July and we're making a snowman out of a coffee can. Yeah, my hair went from the darkest of brown to auburn. Poker straight to all kinds of curl. When my hair's really short, it looks like I have a curly perm. So that's his face. So I used Vaseline on that thing and I still got. So through the holes that I put on each side, gray highlights. You earned every bit of yours. I tell my children they caused this, not me. So I just have this wire. It's 18 gauge. 18 or 20 gauge. You can. It's heavy wire, but it is still pliable enough where you can use your hands. And if I can use it, you can too. So I'm just, because most days my hands don't work right. So I'm just taking a length of this because I want it longer than I need to curl. Okay. So let's work this out. So I'm going from the inside out. Maybe. There it is. And I'm just twisting this just around a couple of times. And then what the overhang is, I'm going to just curl it. Sheila, I'm glad you could hop on. So that has a little bit of a curl. The other side will have a bigger curl. So I'm going to put some beads. These are just wood beads. It's how they came. I didn't do anything to them. Put 3 down there. Yeah, I gave up on mine too. I got tired of it. It's like every time I turned around, there's the root. It's like, what the heck? So I just gave it a little bit of a twist up here. And then we're going to go out this other side. Nope. We're going to put the beads on first. Now we're going out the other side. I'm going to twist this. Thank you. Tumbleweed. I never had anybody. I don't curl this. I get out of the shower, let it dry, and this is what it does. I quit fighting my hair years ago. I used to spend, when I was in school, I would spend so much time on my hair and it would never do what I wanted it to do. And if I got curl in it, it only lasted a little bit and then it was gone. So I quit fighting it. So there we go. We have a handle. So now, with this tree I tore apart, and it really wasn't hard to get out of the flower pot. I just kept twisting the whole thing, and it just came right out. But I got some really nice branches. So we're just going to stick these in. We have some, let's get Spanish moss in first. And I did do this for the top. Let me see. We're going to use this. I just went on the yard this morning and cut some branches. So do we want to use that? No. So we're going to do Spanish moss. And I promised somebody Spanish moss, and I do not remember who. So if I promised any of you on here, let me know so I can get it in the mail tomorrow. Because I have Spanish moss written down for 2 people, but I don't have anyone's name. It's like I'm not sure what was going on that day, but I didn't write your name. So let's put these in. Donna, are you home? So I'm just sticking these in. Now I could have just taken that whole tree and shoved it down in here. So those of you just joining, Dollar General had these flower pots with this tree sticking out of it. but you can tear it apart. You get all these and five of the berry picks. I got it last year. It was, regular price was $5. I got it for under that. So it was really easy to rip apart. So I'm just sticking these in. Let's bend one over. And they're wire, so they're really pliable. Let's bend some over the sides. We don't need a whole lot. We just want to fill in his head. So let me grab another berry pick. Donna, well, there was two of you, so who was the second person? I swore I wrote it down. I have an order form that I use. All orders get written on there, but who knows? So I am going to use, I have this acrylic paint. It's Michael's. It's called Silver Glitter. It has the tiniest little shimmer to it. Because I don't like glitter. It's evil. And I'm going to put it right over top of his cheeks. Now, it's more of a clear. It's not really a white. It goes on white, but it dries clear. So it's just like a liquid glitter. See, it's white on the brush. But it's not white on here. And I'm just putting it on his cheeks. Just give him some shiny cheeks. You know what? Maybe in his eyes too. Now you don't see the shimmer until this is totally dry. Even drying it with a heat tool doesn't bring out the shimmer. It's not a glitter. It's more of a shimmer. The heat tool doesn't bring out that shimmer either. And it has to totally dry on its own. But it's silver glitter. And then there's no silver to it at all. So, I should have done some snow. Too late now. I have red ticking that I coffee stained. Hi, Teresa. Hey, Ronnie. How are you? I coffee stained this. Actually, I did a whole bolt of this stained. And I'm going to wrap it around the bottom. Somebody was not a crafter sometimes would walk in my house and think, what is this woman doing? She has fabric in her kitchen sink pouring coffee on it. The first time I did coffee stained fabric and put it in the oven, I thought my husband's chin was actually going to go through the floor. He just stood there and looked at me. I said, don't worry, it's good. It took him a while to get used to me. Because nobody in his family, his sister, one sister makes greeting cards that are absolutely beautiful. But other than that, nobody in his family did stuff. So I was a whole new experience. Of course, I probably am that to most people. So I'm just dovetailing the ends of my tie here. And I think he needs a jingle bell. So I'm going to glue this down. Yeah, it was on my other page, and he walked into the kitchen when I was showing some of my followers how to coffee stain fabric and put it in the oven, and he walked in and they all thought it was hilarious because the expression on his face was like, oh my God, what is she doing now? Okay, let's get some jingle bells. Yeah, it took Tony quite a while. Poor guy. And I still don't think he's used to me yet. And we've been married almost 5 years. So I just have some little rusty bells that I'm going to glue right on that knot. So out of a coffee can, which is garbage actually, and a scrap piece of muslin, and some beads that came from Pop Shelf. They were on clearance right after school started. So like in August, they put their craft supplies on sale. So they were like 15 cents a pack. So there's 15 cents there. The tree I paid less than $5 for, and we just used a small portion of it. So I would say this costs under $5 to make. And there you go. So a little bit of paint. Some Spanish moss that I picked off of a tree, so that was free. No, men don't understand. Tony just goes with the flow. He's easygoing. Hi, Patty. Yeah, so a coffee can. This tree was in a flower pot at Dollar General. Toward Christmas last year, they marked everything down. So regular price was $5. You got 5 the berry picks and tons of these pine branches. Just have to rip it apart. So yeah, a little bit of paint, a little bit of fabric. So I would say under $5, but look at that. Now, if you was doing a show, you could sell that. Hi, Patty. Butterflies on my shorts. Oh no, these were jogging pants I cut off. Thank you. Hi, Gia. Welcome. So this is our first Christmas in July. So my husband wonders why I save all the cans, the bigger cans, odd-shaped cans. I save them all. So there you go. Oh, thank you, Brenda. Thanks, Joanne. You snuck in. I didn't see you sneak in here. Thanks, Ronnie. So there you go. I'm glad you like it. A little bit of wire. Now, like I said, if you take the lid, the plastic lid, and cover that with a hat, You could actually put cookies in this and give it to somebody as a gift. Thank you. Yeah, he's looking up at me like, what are you up to now? He's got Tony's look on his face. Thanks, Barb. So there you go. So those of you who hopped on late, the pine branches was a little tree from Dollar General that was on clearance last year, and I just pulled it apart. It was in a flower pot, and it had 5 berry picks. Hi, Julie. Oh, thank you. You popped in here too, and I didn't see you. But I got snow now everywhere. Oh, I hope you do, Julie. Hi, Diana. So, there you go. Took us a little over an hour because I was talking and showing you stuff, but, you know, got to do that. So, God bless you. I hope you all have a wonderful day. I will be back on sometime Wednesday. I have an ultrasound of my thyroid being done, so I'm not sure. Yeah, rambunctious. Yeah, that's what she is too. She has an infectious laugh. But there you go. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for hopping on and watching me. God bless.